now, good morning, happy Thursday. So tomorrow we see your film scoring results, television scoring results for Game of Thrones. Great work. I can't wait to show you guys that tomorrow. Okay, but so we'll do something so not related to Game of Thrones or fantasy-like, because mixing it up is good too. Too much of one thing is just, it becomes boring and static and all that kind of stuff. So let's go to LA. Let's go to the town you love, I love, we all love, and let's take a look at MacArthur Park. So lest anyone think we're going to be talking about the song MacArthur Park, we're not. The park that's located right just west of downtown. We're going to look at the origins of it, what it's become, some beautiful pictures of what it was, and just trust me, we're going to go on this journey together. And but we're going to need to fly over there because. These Google Map things, I'm loving it. So, and it takes a little bit of effort, so I want to at least show it off. So we're going to have to go to the town you love, I love, John loves, Megan loves, Lloyd loves, PASW loves. Let's get over to MacArthur Park. Originally, it was called Westlake Park because of Westlake, and it was really lovely at first. I mean, so in the 1880s, LA received this kind of all these about 35 acres, but it was really used just as a dump. I mean, nobody. It became known as the Dead Sea. It was really junky. It was a place where people would put their garbage and animal carcasses and all these things. So people in LA, politicians, city people, were like, okay, let's take care of this park. Let's fertilize it. Let's it's a man-made park, a lake, and let's make it attractive to people, because so the park opens in 1890. So if we look at our timeline, this is way before anything that we've done, right? 1890 is a long time ago. And if you remember a lot of what we've talked about, the origin of LA, Alvera Street, downtown LA, that's kind of the origin of the city. And if you noticed with the Bullock's Wilshire, that was kind of remarkable because it was like, well, who would ever go out there? Who would ever go west of downtown? Very few people were venturing over into those places. But of course, as we know with the automobile, people were able to go west of downtown. But so MacArthur Park is in between Bullock's and downtown. But for back then, it was kind of a dump until they pumped fresh water into the lake, and they planted trees, and promenades were installed in the matter, kind of in an East Coast style. I mean, this was kind of originally supposed to be kind of a central park, only for the West Coast. It was like that for a little bit, but then it turned into disarray. But I'm getting ahead of myself right here.
California, here I come, right back where I started from, where bowers of flowers bloom in the spring. Each morning at dawning, birdies sing and everything.
But they wanted to build very beautiful mansions around the park. They wanted to. Boating was very popular at that time, so there were sailboats and canoes and rowboats all available for rent. And in 1932, Wilshire needed to go west, and Bullock's Wilshire, of course, was west of here. So they had to bisect the park. I like the word bisect. I don't think I've ever used that in a sentence, but researching it, I was like, now I can use bisect, which is, so Wilshire had to go west. So the park, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. I know a lot of people were upset about this in the 20s and in the early 30s, but they had to divide the park, because Wilshire Boulevard had to keep going west because we needed expansion. We needed to go out toward, and Wilshire goes all the way to the beach, so they needed that. And then in June of '42, this Westlake is rechristened MacArthur Park. Hearst, the famous newspaper, wanted to MacArthur Park. MacArthur was a very heroic figure in the war, and so Hearst thought, well, if we rename the park after him, maybe he'll run for president. It always goes back to politics, it seems, but it's he wasn't president, but the name stuck. So, I mean, as you can see, just with these pictures and all these things, beautiful park, just so lovely to stroll. People, I mean, it was at one point known as the Champs-Élysées of Los Angeles, which is, the beautiful part in Paris. Not like that anymore, but I mean, it was so nice and wonderful for the people. I mean, I guess it was kind of rich, upper class people in this area. And they just enjoyed the hell out of it. I mean, who wouldn't? Again, we have perfect climate to go boating. It's not too hot. It doesn't get too cold here. Of course, I say all the time, it's climate, Hollywood, and the car was the early developments of Los Angeles. And with those things, the perfect climate, people could, you could be at the park every day, like 350 days of the year was a beautiful day. In '85, though, I mean, the park became known for violence, prostitution, drug dealing, gangs, shootouts, and known as a place, to hide weapons, to throw weapons, including bodies. It was hard for me to find the body count. Maybe for better. But it was definitely used, to get rid of evidence, even though I don't think it was that deep. But they drained the lake in '73 and in 1978, and they found hundreds of handguns and other firearms disposed in the lake, which is kind of eerie. For a time, whenever somebody was missing in Los Angeles, the first place to check was MacArthur Park, just to see if anyone was in the lake. There's that really beautiful Westlake Theater sign that's still there, and it's just, I love that sign. It's adjacent to the park. That opened in 1926, and it was a grand theater for early movies, for vaudeville shows. In 1991, it was converted into a swap meet, and it lost some of the glamour. But Buster Keaton filmed movies there. There's this great old film noir movie called Too Late for Tears, 1949, and it's a woman that kills her husband and plots with this private eye after someone tosses a money bag into her car. It's a very cool movie, but as you can see, they liked MacArthur Park as the location. And by 2010, the boathouse was closed. Unfortunately, the paddle boats, they were all removed, and the boathouse was torn down in 2014. It's just was such a lovely part of Los Angeles. It still could be. Maybe they're working with it. It's a hard. It's easy to just say, well, it's a shame what it turned into, but that's almost, and it is. But that's a very simplified way of looking at it. There's deep problems, of course, with poverty, with people that it's just a very hard. It's like with the current homeless situation in Los Angeles. It's a really hard problem because, yes, we want to clean it up, but that doesn't mean just getting rid of people and moving people. It's a really tough question. There needs to be a new model of development, though. something that incorporates, like better rent control or affordable housing. I mean, something needs to happen to it. I'm not here to provide any answers. I'm not political at all. We're here for art. But of course, there's got to, it's hard not to address the issue that there's problems in the city, that there will always be problems, of course. But if only there's a way to make it beautiful again, and and a park used for everybody, everybody enjoys it. No matter what race, ethnicity, how much you make, it doesn't matter. It should just be used for something beautiful. I mean, parks are so great when you think about it, because they're free, they're open to the public. You can enjoy a lunch or a picnic. You can walk around. You can do these things that make humans happy for the most part. We like that. We like the sunshine. We like good climate. We like being with our friends and people we love, and being outdoor is a really great luxury. I don't know if anyone's going over there. I mean, I walked through it a few years ago, and even I was a little bit just depressed and wondering what could be done about it. So, but I just thought this was a good little area to talk about, to see the history of how beautiful it really was, and there were concerts there, and there's that amphitheater there. It was very popular for a long time, and maybe we can think of some ways to make it where everybody can enjoy it, and everyone feels safe there. Okay, so that's MacArthur Park. Just thought, fun to see something beautiful in the city just west of downtown. So I hope you enjoyed that. I mean, it goes back to the late 19th century, so it's been there for a really long time. So not called MacArthur Park till the 1940s. But the Champs-Élysées of Los Angeles, what a gorgeous park. I mean, I hope you enjoyed some of those old pictures and all those kind of things. I mean, it officially opened in 1890. I mean, think of how much structure. I mean, it's cool that it's still there, but how much history it's seen. And hopefully, it's just one of my favorite places, to go. And so hopefully it can be a little, taken care of a little bit better. We'll see. I think they're working on that. Okay, so hope you enjoyed MacArthur Park. Have a great rest of the day. See you tomorrow with Film Scoring results. Okay, bye.